Ulrika Sultan with me. Warm welcome. Can you please introduce yourself shortly?
So first of all, thank you for being invited to be a part of this day. It's an amazing energy. That's always nice to be a part of. So thank you so much for that. So my name is Ulrika Sultan. I'm a PhD and a guest researcher now at Chalmers University of Technology in Gothenburg, Sweden.
Yeah.
And my main focus is girls' interest in technology.
Yeah, it is. And you spent the last 16 years researching girls' interest in technology, but also why some girls disengage maybe from the interests that they could pursue if they were supported in another way. But also, if I read you rightly, if you also told kind of other stories, what would you say are the main reasons why many girls disengage from STEM, and how can we support them engage? And before you start answering, can you adjust your microphone a little bit so we hear you better?
Two words, is that better?
I think so, yeah. And a little bit there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. First of all, we need to establish, though, that girls are interested and women are interested in technology. We engage in it, we work in it. We are a huge part of this world. But we also are nudged.
Yeah.
In research, we call it for microaggressions. So we constantly nudged. As a young girl, maybe you are asked many, many times a weird question, which I think is very weird, which is, how come you like technology? And that you is a word that is reminding you and makes you question, do I really belong here? Because that you has a tone of, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then maybe you engage and you start your education, and maybe you're the only girl in the classroom. And here's the sad part. You will always be the girl in the class.
Yeah.
And that is an issue, because you're never first your person. You're always the girl. You don't have a name. You're the only girl, you're the only girl, you're the only girl. So you're constantly reminded of, you are weird. And in my perspective, weird is good. I love weird.
Yeah.
but it's a
for
sad
young
thing.
girls, yeah, and also and you're gonna continue, but also I never thought about. I mean, I heard the term, and I work with microaggressions in workplaces, but I never thought about young girls. Do you mean by society, by the rhetoric, by our adults, that they're, since young age, they have to face microaggressions?
Exactly. So, because you would never ask a boy that. It's so. It's so natural, or whatever to call it, that he would like technology.
Yeah.
But we keep asking girls, how come you like tech?
But why? Why do you think is kind of the core that it's still today that we still behave that way towards girls? So we see it as, instead of seeing as something kind of the norm, and of course it's natural that women, we see how many women here, like 30 in Sweden, this whole day has been an example of so many women leading tech. Why isn't that kind of been more normalized?
It is super weird, and yeah.
You like weird?
I like weird, but this is super weird. And the super weird is interesting from a research point of view.
Yeah.
And one of the things is that we have a narrative in Sweden, and this is, I would say, Northern globe, Western problem. It's not a problem in the African continent that we see women now are excelling in STEM. They're graduating in STEM. There are more women graduating in STEM fields than men on the African continent.
Wow.
I mean, there's something to be inspired by. But in Sweden, we have a very weird narrative of, there's a lack of women. We need to fix girls so they will become interesting or interested in technology, instead of talking about how we actually can support a young girl who is interested. So there's a narrative which I think is a huge issue for us.
Yeah.
That we keep talking about girls as they are the ones that are not interested.
Okay. If we also kind of, to round up, the time flies here on stage, but also what are the things that we could learn from the African continent, where you've been working and exploring, and it seems like in some fields they're driving ahead of us. But what can we also kind of, all of us, do to make sure that we I don't know how to even say it, but that we don't kind of suppress the interest in tech that many young girls have and support them in taking part in STEM.
We can do things like we do today. Do something active. Talk is easy,
Yeah.
but being active is different. So if you are a woman identifying as a woman, please stop saying that you're going to try, because that word of insecurity is making a girl listen to that try. So next time you're going to share a screen, don't say I'm going to try share a screen. Just share the screen, and hopefully you have a friend that will tell you if it's not shared. Okay. Also, if you're a company, please be vocal about and be proud of your diversity, inclusion, equity programs that you have. Tell other companies that you actually are doing it. Be vocal. Have a spine. Grow a backbone if you don't have one. And really put yourself out there and say, you know what, this is important to us. Lead by example, like truly, truly lead. Because every time you move in society, every time we speak about this, a young girl is listening and looking up to you. And here's the thing also that I really want to put in here is that we're talking about role models. And sorry, you can't choose to be one, but
Chosen.
it's chosen. You are being gifted by being seen as a role model by someone else. Please remember that. You can't say, I'm going to go out now in the world and be a role model. No. Someone is looking at you with their eyes upon you and saying, you know what? This woman is my role model. And that's your gift.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It feels encouraging to know that we have, hopefully, since you didn't choose to be a role model, but this day it's been filled of potential and many women that are role models for coming generations. But we still have a lot to keep on doing and actually doing and not only trying. So thank you for that reminder, Ulrika, and thank you for being here with us. And all of us can also follow your research and the things that you do, both on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and of course at the universities where you're active. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.